This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. In a new article published today, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan pushed against Azerbaijan's escalating bellicose rhetoric by stating that all the prerequisites for peace have been put in place. Of Azerbaijan's repeated claims that Armenia is preparing for war, Pashinyan said, either Azerbaijan really thinks that Armenia intends to attack Azerbaijan, or Azerbaijan intends to attack Armenia, and is trying to create a foundation for doing so. He flatly refuted these claims, reiterating that Armenia acknowledges Azerbaijan's territorial integrity, including Nagorno-Karabakh, and expects reciprocal recognition from it regarding Armenian territory, though the two countries formally recognized each other's territorial integrity based in Soviet-era borders at a 2025 summit in Prague. Pashinyan raised Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev's repeated referencing Armenia to be Western Azerbaijan as going against this agreement. Pashinyan further emphasized that Armenia's military reforms are only for the protection of its internationally recognized sovereign territory and are not indicative of any offensive intentions against Azerbaijan. Armenia has proposed several confidence-building measures, such as mutual arms control, joint investigations of border incidents, and facilitating railway transportation between the countries. Despite this, Azerbaijan has failed to respond, and instead repeatedly asserts that Armenia intends to attack. Pashinyan called for an end to this staging of escalations, and to instead establish institutional peace. There is currently no discussion about Armenia leaving the Russian-led Eurasian Economic Union, or taking any actual steps toward joining the European Union, the deputy chair of the country's parliamentary economic committee, Babken Tunyan, said in an interview with СивиЛНеթi. Unfortunately, there is a misconception in our society that European integration is a process that can be completed within a month or year, Tunyan told СивиЛНеթi, emphasizing that once started, the EU accession process could take over a decade. A draft law is currently before the National Assembly on starting the accession process. However, it still has to go through several stages, and Pashinyan has emphasized that it will also need to pass in a national referendum. Russia, Armenia's largest trading partner, reacted sharply to the initiative, warning of potential economic consequences. Its deputy prime minister, Alexei Overchuk, cautioned that energy and food prices could rise and that Armenia's export volumes could shrink by 70 to 80%. Tunyan dismissed Overchuk's warnings as preventive cautionary measures, noting that Armenia is actively aligning various laws and regulations with the standards of the Eurasian Economic Union. Tunyan stressed that before discussing EU membership, Armenia must first assess whether it is ready to operate under EU standards, as economic standards, product quality, and regulatory oversight will all be necessary before it can qualify for membership. A court in Armenia's Syunik region sentenced Jalal Harutyunyan, the former commander of Artsakh's defense army, to 5 years and 6 months in prison on Friday, following a trial that examined his role in the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war. Harutyunyan was found guilty of on-duty negligence that led to severe consequences, centering on an October 12, 2020 incident near the Karabakhi village of Jovarli, where 20 servicemen were killed, 7 were wounded, and 1 officer remains missing. The prosecution argued that Harutyunyan misidentified approaching forces as friendly units during combat. In addition to causing numerous casualties, Azerbaijani forces overtook artillery positions and captured equipment. Harutyunyan's lawyer told the press that the verdict will be appealed. Last November, Harutyunyan was cleared of separate charges stemming from another incident during the war, following Baku's ethnic cleansing of Nagorno-Karabakh Armenians in October 2023. Harutyunyan was put on Azerbaijan's wanted list, accused of war crimes, while already under arrest in Armenia. Harutyunyan's conviction comes amid a broader pattern of legal proceedings against high-ranking military commanders who served during the 2020 war. These cases have sparked debates about accountability for the war's outcome, with defense lawyers arguing the prosecutions are politically motivated, particularly targeting officers such as Harutyunyan, who were involved in a February 2021 call for Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's removal from office. Watch our interview with Sarah Stites, Excitement Officer of the Caritas Artsakh Foundation, about the daily experiences and struggles faced by Armenia's disability community. Stites talks about the impact made by Artsakh's Social Development Center in Gyumri for young people with special needs, as well as Artsakh Bakery, Armenia's first and only cafe that employs only people with special needs and their family members. While the community still faces inadequate support and societal stigmas, Stites tells us about the progress she's seen in Armenia over the past half-decade. Find a link to the broadcast in this video's description. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 18. That's the total number of medals, 6 of them gold, earned by the top placing Team Yerevan at the second Pan-Armenian Winter Games, which closed out this weekend in the spa town of Jermok. Gyumri came in second with 11 medals, 4 of them gold, closely followed by the northern village of Artsakh, with 3 golds among 12 medals. Though Artsakh has an official population of less than 2,500 residents, it is the center of the cross-country skiing sport in Armenia, and has been routinely sending athletes to the Winter Olympics since Armenia's independence. A total of 71 medals were handed out at the games in Jermok. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.